What's up, y'all? Shiloh back with you. If you're new to the channel, welcome to Windsor's Wheels. Today we're gonna keep working on our 69 Dodge Charger. If you haven't seen the previous videos, you might wanna go check those out or you're gonna be a little confused. But today we're gonna be pulling this radiator out. If you saw in our last video, we replaced a ton of parts related to the motor on the Charger. We put in some gauges, we put a new alternator in it, water pump, we got a new steering box in it. We did a ton of work. That's not even the beginning of it. So go check that video out if you haven't seen it already. But like I said, the first thing we are going to do today is get this radiator pulled. We were having some overheating issues whenever we started it up for a while. It had been up on stands for a good minute. But yeah, we had some overheating issues. Like I said, we did replace the water pump and the thermostat. Basically, the coolant system was new. So except for our radiator, the car had been sitting for a very long time and I'm pretty sure it was just all gunked up and a little clogged up. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna get that radiator pulled out. We're gonna get it to the radiator shop. So let's stop talking and let's get to work. So we are back home now. As you saw, we dropped the radiator off at the radiator shop. The guy took a look at it, actually said it wasn't bad. Basically, what I thought was accurate. The car had just been sitting a long time and it accumulated some debris and just crud and clogged up. So he said it should be fine. He said he's gonna boil it. So this is actually a new experience for me. I've never had this done, so I learned a few things today, which I always enjoy. But he said he was going to boil it, and then after that was done and it didn't leak, he was going to make sure it didn't leak either. He was going to flow test it, which is he tests it somehow to make sure that it's letting out the coolant at the rate it's supposed to, I guess. That's kind of what I got from him explaining it to me. So basically what that means is after I get it back from him, which will hopefully be tomorrow, that's what he told me, it should be perfect. It should be like a brand new radiator. So that's awesome. Really excited about that. It's very, very handy that I didn't have to order that and wait for a new one and then this video take forever. So that's sweet. Another thing I decided to do, so when putting everything back together, I wanted to get that video out to you guys as fast as possible. So went to O'Reilly's. I wanted a new thermostat and basically asked them what they had on the shelf and bought what they had. Was kind of in a rush, and I'm not necessarily happy with what I purchased. And what I mean by that is, so there's two types of thermostats you can buy. Just the basic one is, your car heats up, thermostat opens, lets the coolant through, lets the car cool down, and that's pretty much it. Or you can buy I think they call it like fail-safe proof or something, which means these thermostats, it does the same thing as the regular one, but if for some reason that thermostat ever fails, or the car does heat up to what it's like past what the thermostat is regulated for, there's a pin that lets loose, and it basically, there's a spring and it pops that thermostat open, so it will still allow the coolant to go in and you don't have to worry about your car heating up and having basically catastrophic failures, which is what would have happened if we didn't put those gauges in and seen that it was overheating when we started it in the last video. So I went to O'Reilly's after I dropped the thermostat or the radiator off, and was basically like, hey, I need the fail-proof one. I have everything apart again. I was stupid the first time when I did this. I should have been safer, but we're good. We got lucky, and I went ahead, put an order on that new thermostat. Should be in tomorrow. The guy told me the radiator should be in tomorrow, so that is awesome. So instead of wasting the day away, we are home now, and now I want to get this charger pulled outside. I want to get a hose hooked up, and I want to run water through the coolant system. As I said, my original plan was to, if the car kept temperature like it's supposed to, I was going to run it for a while, drain all the fluid out of it, replace it, drain the fluid out of it, you know, run it for a while, drain the fluid, and just basically make sure it was all clear. But obviously that's not the case, and I don't want to deal with that once we put it together for the second time. So we're going to get it outside. We're going to run some water through it and make sure if there's anything that's not supposed to be in that motor, we need to get it out. And that's basically what that'll ensure, hopefully. And once we get it put back together, we will be checking it and making sure coolant's all clean and looking like it's supposed to. But yeah, that's actually what we're going to do next. So it's time to get this garage opened and get the charger outside. Y'all, so it is the next day. As you saw, we got that coolant system flushed out, stuck a hose through the thermostat housing, flushed out the whole coolant system, got the water really clean, so I think that should be good now. And we've actually already been to town today. I had class early this morning and decided to go by the radiator shop, and they have it all done now. So it has been boiled, it has been flowed, everything's been tested. He says it's great. And they painted it for me, which is awesome. Then we also ran to O'Reilly's. We got a new cap and thermostat for it. So, and we got a gasket. I actually had that yesterday. But that should be all the parts we need. So right now, we are going to jump under the hood of the car. We're gonna get the radiator put in and get the thermostat put in, get some coolant in it, and fire it on up. So let's stop talking, let's get to work. brought the thermostat in, thermostat housing, everything's in now. Another thing that I did forget to mention is the carburetor situation. So this car is not necessarily happy with its current setup, and I think that is because it does have a Holley double pumper. It's a bit of an aftermarket, fancier carburetor on it, and I honestly just think that it's too much for the fuel pump that we have. I don't think we have the fuel system to just keep it happy. So basically what that means is I have just a basic Edelbrock 650 on my pickup truck. And I actually got this Holley off of my truck. It was my daily driver and the thing was just sucking fuel down like nobody's business. And yeah, so what I think I'm going to do for a temporary fix, I'm gonna take this carburetor back off. I know we already placed it. We're gonna take this carburetor off and we're gonna get under the hood of my truck and flip them back. And because I do plan on selling my truck here pretty soon, and I didn't want to sell it with that carburetor. So I think what we're gonna do is just go ahead and flip the carburetors around, and hopefully that fixes our issue. So let's get to work. Difference. I started up so much nicer. All right, guys, so check it out. The fixes worked. We are holding temp, we are holding oil pressure. I am super excited. There ain't nothing to it but to do it now. It's time to go driver. So let's get to it. On the road, boys and girls. Holy, I am nervous, I ain't gonna lie.
That's crazy.
This is insane. Let's see what she's got. I wanna see if she's got any juice. She sounds good. Holding oil pressure, holding water. Got some juice. Hey man, she's doing good. Don't want to take her too far. Obviously, first test drive, you want to be careful. So far, gauges are looking good. Some weird sound. I think whenever we get up to a certain speed, the speedo makes a weird sound. I gotta look into that.
That's exactly what Sammy does, actually. I was telling you about that.
Feels good though. It feels really good. Feels really good. I'm super pumped, dude. Like the feeling that you get when you're driving this car, you just have like you're like the king of everybody. You know, because like you're driving down this road like nobody's got one. Like I've driven a lot of old cars before, and I have not driven one that felt like this.
Well, and even people that don't know anything about the car world, they stare.
Oh, they look at it. It's just like,
oh, dude, that's cool.
That is a cool car right there.
Yeah.
So. All right, y'all, so we made it back home. I am beyond stoked that we finally got to drive this car after all the work. I mean, y'all been there for the journey. It is an incredible feeling to finally get her on the road and, you know, get to experience something like that. I've never driven a car like this. I've driven a lot of old cars, but this Charger is definitely something different. And if you guys remember, in the previous video, I did mention something about a new shop that we did move. So this is the new shop. Obviously, it is not as big as my previous one-car garage, but we got our workbench, we have all our storage, we have our cleaning cabinet, engine hoist. This is actually a motorcycle jack, but I use it as a transmission jack. My air compressor and a few things are outside. Guys, I do want y'all to understand that it doesn't take a giant fancy facility to build these cars. Obviously, it's no show car, and I don't want it to be right now. Maybe in the future, but right now I just want to drive her. I want to enjoy it, and I just want to show y'all that it doesn't take some big fancy facility with all this fancy equipment to be able to take one of these cars out of a field like we did and get it back on the road. So just a little bit of motivation out there for y'all that are working on your projects. So. But guys, that is probably going to be a wrap for today's video. I do want to give a huge thank you to my mom and dad for getting us this new camera that we've recorded this video on. It is amazing. Guys, I do want to say thank you to you for showing us so much support, for being there with us through this whole build. And with that, I do want to announce, well, not announce, but give a little bit of a sneak peek on a surprise that is coming for this Charger. In their next video, we found something that's gonna change the car completely. And what I mean by that is possibly some new shoes. And that's all I'm gonna give you. Guys, you're gonna have to like and subscribe this, put your post notifications on, because what we got for the car it's game changer. It's definitely a game changer, and I'm very excited to show y'all what's going on. So. And something else that I always forget to do is go check us out on Instagram. So we have an Instagram page, Windsor's Wheels, you know, same as the YouTube channel. And we really post our first updates, our first views on Instagram. So if you want to get a little bit of a sneak peek before the videos come out, go check those out. Guys, again, we really appreciate the support. This car it's honestly, I don't even have the words. I'm so pumped on how far it's come, and I'm really excited for how far we're gonna take it. So guys, please, please, please stay healthy out there. I know there's a lot of stuff going on. We're gonna try to keep getting these videos out to y'all, especially to help you guys out that are in quarantine. We're not there yet, but we probably will be soon. But yeah, stay healthy. We love y'all. Thank you for the support. We will see you next time.